A good Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gavin Batista at the Prosperity Channel. Good Saturday. It's April 19. Good evening. This is Gavin Batista, your host at the Prosperity Channel. I have great news to tell you. We can solve, finally, the mass shootings, for starters, in schools all over the United States of America. How does it work? Number one, we will have to get some support for the funding with the President of the United States, the great President Donald Trump. The plan goes like this. Number one is we have to agree on the professional, civilized process to search every single student every single day when they go to school. It might be taxing for starters, but it is already being done with other schools who have been quite successful. So basically, when a student, a female student, gets inside into the premises, she would be searched completely by a female police officer. If it is a male student, it will be done by a male officer who will do a very thorough check in order to be 100% sure that there will be no guns, sophisticated weapons, including knives and the like, to enter the premises of that given school, university, or educational institution. Thirdly, we will have to make sure that once they have entered the premises of that educational institution, no other person can enter that school. And as I said, some schools, including here in Oklahoma City, are doing it already. And they have been very successful, including in Walmart. About 8 years ago, there was no such thing as security patrolling the parking areas. So what happened with Walmart? Walmart, Oklahoma, all the stores increased sales because most of the patrons, including myself, would relax shopping and making 100% sure that the vehicle that is parked outside will not be vandalized or dented. And as Elon Musk would say when he was with a friend, he was just walking in a given street and he was punched. The friend was punched. There is no way that that can happen because the security will be very tight. So the President Donald Trump question would be, who will fund it? Partially it would be from the federal government, and partially it would be from the given school district and the vendors who supply goods to that given school, in order to assure that the students are 100% safe and there will be no shooting whatsoever. And when that happens, as I told you in my last video yesterday, prosperity or economic prosperity is founded on peace and order. With peace and order, people are feeling wanting to buy something, wanting to learn something, wanting to do something, And therefore, the money velocity increases. There is active citizenry participation, and thereby, once money velocity increases, the economy becomes prosperous, thereby resulting into lower deficits, because there will be both direct and indirect taxes being paid every single day, or should I say, every single hour. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, in America, school districts get their money, their funds, basically from property taxes and sales taxes. If people are happy, they tend to spend more. If people are safe, they spend more and more. If people make money because there's no violence in that given area or county, it becomes a sustainable economic level of prosperity from level A to a higher level of level A, and it never ends. We see that in Tokyo, Japan, a lot. We see that in Singapore. We see that in Florida. We see that in Western Europe. And the societies that keep on having violence will result into economic poverty, because the good ones, the professionals, the people who are an economic asset in that given locality will move to another location to make more money and to be more safe. Basic 101 economic prosperity. Because once money velocity is endless, which by the way, I do not believe in that term, economic overheating. You know, I've seen the best economies in the world, and they're always overheating because there's nonstop action. People are making money every day. From the upper level of society to the middle class to the lower class, they are making money every day, and they're happy to work harder. Because I don't believe in the saying, well, you know, in China, we work 16 hours a day. I don't mind working 16 hours a day as long as I'm getting paid a lot. In fact, the people who are working 16 hours a day is because they're making a lot of money. Those are the facts. Do not believe again these paid news. They want you to be lazy and become content in what you have. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is prime time. This is what I can tell you very clearly. If we can stop, or should I say guarantee to the press and to the world that all the 50 states are covered with regards to security, the process, and the 24/7 surveillance, issue gone. There will be no more mass shootings in all universities, guaranteed, I promise you. Because on top of that, my team will propose to the President Donald Trump, that we will go to the homes of the, what we call high-risk students, that will put a bomb, shoot another student, shoot a professor, and do the mass shooting all over again. And how do you identify that? You have to be very good in psychology, because we will already identify the potential high-risk students who will be killing, mass shooting these people. Because number one, precisely we want to go to their homes, is that they come from broken families. In fact, some don't even have a mother or father, which is 70% prevalent in America today. 70%. And that's why the mass shootings, as I've told you in my last video, based on statistics, happens twice every single month on the average. So we're practically waiting right now for the next mass shooting. This has to end. As I was trying to debate with my colleagues here in Oklahoma, if we cannot solve the mass shootings here, how can we solve the war in Ukraine and Russia? We don't have the mindset. We don't have the mindset. Because in America, it's, I'm also against George Soros, but some say, well, there might be a conspiracy that George Soros might be the one that is spending money to do the mass shooting and pays these kids. No. In America, racism is very common. Okay, it's very common. It's just the way it is, as one white guy would say. It's just the way it is. Okay, fine. Number two, once the students goes inside the university, the premises, there's a lot of debate, there's a lot of heat, there's a lot of bullying. And when that happens, because it happens all the time, not only in America, but in other parts of the world, it results into mass shootings. But in other parts of the world, it results into fist fighting. But in here, it's all about shooting. And it never ends. It never ends, because the culture we have in America is, if you quarrel with one another, you go inside your house, you pick up your gun, and go back to that area where you can find him or her and start shooting her. And as one white guy would say, that's just the way it is. Is that true, America? I think we can do better than that. So one measure is to focus on what I just told you a while ago. Search every student, go to the homes of the high-risk students that will start the shooting, mass murder on a daily basis, until their mindset is clear that when you have a problem, when there is bullying, you do not get your gun and start shooting. You go to a lawyer. You go to the principal to report this matter. And if they do not solve it, you go to the Prosperity Channel, Gavin Bautista, your host. And my mobile number is 405-503-8511. We are on Viber. By the way, this is a mass problem all over the world. It is a big, big problem. It's a crisis. But in America, the problem is, it is, as I said, every month there are 2 mass shootings on the average. In fact, in some states it's more than that. But it's not just reported. So ladies and gentlemen, hear my words. It can be stopped. As I said, it's not a conspiracy. It's the culture of America, not to debate, but to shoot. What I'm proposing is, let us discuss this as civilized people. No, they would say. I'm really mad at that guy because he hit me, he bullied me, he said very foul language. I'm going to kill him. Because the title of this program is this: if you kill him, you kill yourself. You kill America. You kill your mother. You kill your father. You kill your entire family. And therefore, you have to be deported. I repeat, that is my proposal to the president. If you do a mass shooting, your entire family has to go. It must be a new law. Or else, as I said, this will be non-stop. This will be a forever problem. I repeat, the mass shootings can stop because of the new laws that will protect the civilized society by deporting these animals, these barbarians, this uncivilized, unworthy to become an American citizen. And I guarantee you, it will be solved overnight. Because some people in the first place, I don't know why they're here. They don't speak the language. They hate American culture. They hate American civilization. And they hate the American lifestyle. I don't know why they're here. You tell me. And then they get the gun and do the mass shooting. I hate America. I don't like America. I'll do a mass shooting. And then this is reported all over the world. Americans hate it, the good ones especially. And the entire nation's reputation is tarnished. Investors fear America, therefore. And it just goes on and on and on. And then you have the police force explaining what has been done. And before you know it, the whole society becomes demoralized because of these worthless pigs. The whole society is killed. As I would like to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the title of this video is, if you do mass shooting, if you kill innocent lives, you kill yourself, you kill your family, you kill your relatives. But let's start with your family first. Deport them. Immediately. Ahora mismo. And as one guy in the Oklahoma City Chamber would say, Gavin, we just need some tourists here and they gotta go. I agree. If they're just going to vandalize, destroy America's systems, then I don't know why they even come here. And this has been ongoing for the last 10 years. It will stop at the Prosperity Channel, I promise you, if this is approved by President Trump. The funding, the process, etc., I promise you, will be going from one school to the other and making sure that the security is tight, and the mindset of the kids is this: when I was hit in the face, when my bag was stolen by another classmate, I'm not going to get a gun and shoot him and shoot her and shoot whoever I want to shoot. What I'm going to do is I am going to report them to the police, to the lawyers, to the principal. And if that doesn't work, you call up Gavin Batista of the Prosperity Channel, and I tell you, we will go to their house and ask them, why did you punch the kid? And they would be on video. And millions of Americans will see what they did to you. Is that clear? And then the following day, we will talk to my lawyers and support you to file a lawsuit against the person that punched your face or her face. But most of the killings are all male. In fact, 100%. So this is a male issue. And this is the good thing. You're going to make money. Because I am going to raise some funds together, as I said, with the President, Donald Trump. And that is, there will be a reward of $200,000 for any kid that will tell us that that guy is already preparing his ammunition to attack the school anytime right now because there was a bullying incident, there was some foul language, there were some attacks incessantly, constantly, every single day. And yes, I will have to confess, funding is very crucial here. I come from a very military background. I was a former captain, cadet captain at the Ateneo de Manila University from the Philippines. And I know about military law, military discipline, military systems, tactics, and above all, effectiveness. So we will do this in a very professional manner, that it will be done very smoothly and will not disturb, will not destroy the atmosphere of education in that given institution. That educational institution will even consider us as an asset. My team, that is. And we will have finally peace of mind every day to say, finally, this has been solved. And yes, we will not concentrate just on one locality. It will be the entire United States of America and its trust territories. And as I said, the funding will not necessarily come all the way to the federal government, because we are right now on a very tight budget, because we want to solve the 36 trillion deficit overnight, as soon as possible. And we would like to create a ripple effect overnight, all over the Midwest, the West Coast, the East Coast, and that's it. Before you know it, it's all over. The kids now are saying, I can't shoot anymore, because if I shoot, I'm going to get deported. If I shoot, my mother, my father, deported. And above all, the future kids who are listening to us right now will say, oh, I can't do it anymore. And that is the beauty of the Prosperity Channel. The Prosperity Channel is an action-oriented video program, future TV program, by the way, that will solve your problem now, right now, not tomorrow. We are very action-oriented. And that's the beauty of, or that is the greatness of this channel, because we are very businesslike and we are very, very entrepreneurial. Entrepreneurs act fast and they're very effective because they have been there time and time again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will not dilly-dally on this because I know that there has been so many times that I already been requested to finalize the proposals to President Trump and his cabinet members. But I must tell you, as I said, I am just wanting to make sure that the envelope will not be opened again, because as you know, what's happening in the post office is that they open the envelope and steal the documents and then put it back. I don't want that to happen, because that also happened to me with Federal Express. But I'm not hitting on FedEx. It was a Filipino who did that. But I'd like to just be very sure on all my statements. We are not paid news. We are 100% accurate news. News that you can trust to make you prosperous. News that will make you happy, because you know that whatever you hear you can apply in your daily life and make you satisfied every single hour of your life. There is personal satisfaction, and above all, you get a lot of wisdom from your host in our group here in the Midwest, Gavin Bautista, your host at the Prosperity Channel. And come to think of it, ladies and gentlemen, why is this happening all the time for the last 10 years? Because there is no entity in the government out there that has been really funded to make it work every single day. Nothing. It's been all private entity, private enterprise, and it has not been effective. There really has to be federal support. And the planning must be very clear, because, as I said, this is a social problem. So the monitoring system must be very sophisticated to say that based on what happened today, there were 5, 10, 20 students in the state of, let's say, Florida, who had an altercation. So we go there, we explain to them that make sure that there will be no shooting here. We will be that blunt. And it just goes on and on until, as I said, it will reverberate, ripple all over the 50 states, making the brain of the students, the male students especially, that once I kill myself, I kill my mother, I kill my father, because the new law states that if you do mass shooting, your family will get deported. And as I said, no funding means no implementation. Because private funding is not sustainable. The funding can the funding can come from the budget of the school districts, partially. And partial would be the vendors of that given school district. And believe me, the reward system will be very, very important here, because the students themselves will be policing themselves, because money is a big motivating factor in any criminal endeavor or in any criminal counteraction to solve the criminal activity. That is reality, that is history, and all the future criminals will say, I'm not getting into that anymore. Because what's happening right now is that it's a trend that always happens. And to counter that trend, these are the measures that we must do. So I will submit this to the president, and in fact some school districts we're already talking to right now, because they need us and we can make it happen. And again, my number is 405-503-8511, and my Viber number to other parts of the world, because we are a global company, is 405-503-8511, or you can hit me with an email at superdeals1494@gmail.com, or my other email address is midwestern91@gmail.com. Good night. This is Gavin Batista at the Prosperity Channel. And if you like the show, please give me a like, because me and you will probably see each other one of these days, because we want to constantly engage with our audience, because we want you to be prosperous. Thank you again. Good night. And I will see you shortly.